So you think you might like to retire to Mexico. Well, I'm not quite retired, but I've been living here either on a full or part-time basis since 2002. So I love it a whole lot and am a great fan of the whole country. For most Americans who are considering retiring here, one thing you should know is that if ease and convenience are at the top of your list, there's nowhere easier or more convenient to live in than the United States, especially the larger cities in the Sun Belt. Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, these are places that are incredibly easy to live as you grow older. Everything is available to you. Stores are open late at night. Amazon will show up tomorrow morning with whatever you're wanting. And in general, paperwork and things are easier than you'll find most anywhere else in the world. People come to Mexico because they love the climate, they love the culture, they love the general color and delight of living here. And also in virtually every market in this country, your money will go much farther than it will in a traditional urban area in the US or Canada. So if you are beginning the process of looking, I would suggest that you spend a lot of time on the internet. Expatsinmexico.com is a terrific site. I write some blogs there, but a bunch of other people who know way more than I from all over the country write for that site. And of course, you'll want to make some visits, hopefully for a month or longer in some of these places where you might like to be. And from my point of view, you'll want to pay attention to the weather. Where I live is very cool. It doesn't go much above 85, seldom above 90, and occasionally every few years we'll hit 100. But I don't have air conditioning in my home. I do have ceiling fans, and I don't have central heat either. I have heaters in my bathrooms, and I have a big fireplace in my living room, and there are definitely days when I'm happy to sit by that fireplace. But in general, I'm living with the weather pretty much as it comes, and I really like that. I grew up in South Louisiana. I've lived a big chunk of my life along the Gulf Coast. I feel like I've done everything that I needed to do in the hot, muggy weather, and I am very happy to be at 6,300 feet in the high desert in Mexico. There also are plenty of people who want to go to the beaches. In general, the beaches are pretty frighteningly hot for about 7 or 8 months of the year, and pretty amazing the other 4 or 5. Mexico City's in a terrific environment, just everything you can imagine, and with amazing restaurants at prices that will surprise you if you are used to Los Angeles or Dallas or Boston or what have you. And there are all sorts of other places where you might like to be. People often like to be in San Miguel because it is smaller, and it has a lot of amenities per 1,000 people. I mean, there are all sorts of people who can help you live here if you don't speak the language. There are organizations that run tours to other parts of Mexico. There just is there's something to be said for a kind of critical mass of expats to help you move through the sort of issues of how do you pay your electric bill and things like that. So I would encourage you, if you are thinking about retiring here on either a full or a part-time basis, that you take plenty of time to research this country, to check out the various areas, to see, I think a lot of people have fantasies about living at the beach, but if you've been through a summer in Puerto Vallarta, that fantasy may ebb away, or it may not, because you can have air conditioning and then it's not really very different than being in a lot of places in the US. So it's an amazing country. We've received a lot of bad press for a number of reasons, and there have been bad guy on bad guy related violence that is, I think, alarming to most everybody. But it is an extraordinarily great place to live. So I am beginning a whole series of videos where I'm going to address questions that people ask. So please send me any questions or topics you'd like to have me talk about, and in the next weeks and months, you will probably see them appear here. Thank you so much for your time.